Take a few minutes and explore the new features in GForge AS 5.4, starting with the new personal queue that's on my page. The personal queue allows you to drag and drop items out of your to-do list and create a more precise queue of what you're going to work on at any particular time. You can also drag and drop to reorder those items and then save the queue so it preserves your order and the items that you place there. You can then pop up that queue into its own window, so that will stay with you as you move around the site or go to a different site. This might be useful, for example, if you're working in Subversion. Let's take a look at the tracker. Several features in here were added in 5.3 and 5.4, including the ability to move an item from one tracker into another. This shows you your list of projects and trackers that you have access to. You can also clone items. And when you clone an item, it makes a copy of it without any comments or attachments with it. And it also creates a link to the original item. Clone the item, we're taken to it, and we can then set the fields as we desire. Take a look at that item, and it will have a link then to the original item that we closed in the Duplicates tab. And we can remove that link by checking the delete box if we want to. We can merge items, and that does exactly the opposite. It will move over follow-ups, attachments, and time tracking information and merge that into the designated item while deleting this item. So let's take a look at the roadmap report. And the roadmap report is a cross between file release system and tracker. So this shows us items that are associated with this release, and as you can see, we have several open and none of them are closed, so it shows we haven't made much progress on this particular release. Let's go in and close an item. Now we can go back to the roadmap report and see that there is some progress, at least 1/4 of the way done. So let's take a look at Tracker Admin. There were some changes made here in 5.4. First, we can drag and drop to reorder the fields on a page rather than manually typing in numbers like we had to in previous releases. And then we also changed the workflow rules so you can make rules on multiple different fields at the same time. You're no longer limited to just a single field. You can also define commit rules. And a commit rule will let you abort a commit against a tracker item if it's not in the right state, for example. So in this case, we can commit if it's accepted as a bug. But for example, you cannot if the item is marked as fixed. Again, we can drag and drop to reorder field elements and define transition rules. Transition rule, for example, maybe only an admin can change from accepted as bug to fixed. You can also send out a notice when this transition rule is triggered. For example, send an email to a doc writer. Whoever has the DocWriter role then will receive this notification and a link to view the item. To set up commit rules, you need to go to the Subversion Admin tab. And this also works in CS, and you just need to make sure you've got that box checked. Require tracker item ID on commit. And you can also check a box here for another feature to send diffs to a mailing list. Anytime a change is made in a repository, then it will email a diff to the mailing list. And by default, it goes to the commits list in the project. The commits list is archived, same as all the other mailing lists, using the forum engine, and is searchable. New site-wide search also added in 5.4. So you can search all the content across projects, including attachments, and specify a date range. So let's specify a sub-project. We can do that by just picking the one parent project that we have permissions to. Now if we look at the summary page, we'll see a hierarchy being developed here. There's no depth limit and no limit on the number of projects that are there. Basically what happens is you inherit the users from your parent project. So for example, if there's an admin in a parent project, you'll have an admin for this project. GForge also has a Wiki Tool, and we've enhanced that so it keeps track of the different versions when you modify a page. You can then go to the Versions tab and actually view a diff of what exactly you changed. So let's see what else changed in the Subversion admin page. A new feature allows you to publish content out of your Subversion repository or CVS repository, either way. When you define a directory, this is using the ACL system for directory level permissions. Let's check the use for web publishing and click update. Now this directory will be automatically checked out of the repository and published to a project specific website. We also made the ability for site administrators to create and define additional commit filters, which each project admin then choose whether they want to use those.